Good evening. This is CTV News from Monday, April 22nd. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Melissa Wright. Thanks for joining us.
Well, topping our news tonight, the U.S. State Department says 4 Americans, including one from our area, are among the dead killed in the Easter Sunday attacks in Sri Lanka. There were 8 coordinated bombing attacks that targets churches and luxury hotels. Nearly 300 people were killed, several hundred more injured. Janine Samuels has our story.
It's terrible, terrible. All poor people going to church on Easter Sunday. They want to be happy, get back home.
What is normally a joyful and peaceful day, Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka was a day of tragedy. This was the scene yesterday. Coordinated attacks left hundreds dead in 3 cities, Batticaloa, Negombo, and the capital, Colombo. In total, 8 separate explosions killing both natives and foreign tourists and impacting those here closer to home.
As you can see, a memorial of flowers has already been started outside of the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Northwest D.C. The attacks on Easter Sunday of both hotels and churches have left at least 290 people killed and another 450 people injured. Overall, the emotions here are those of sadness, concern, and a little optimism.
Like sadness from this mom, her children live just outside of Colombo. While they are okay, she hurts for her people.
I'm very upset and very sad. Our people is dying. I'm also very upset. I don't know what to do.
And these women who could not sleep, fearful that their family or friends could have been injured or even killed.
So sad. We did not even have time to, we did not get to sleep. We was watching TV, calling friends, finding out everybody's okay.
After the attacks, people all over the country, all races, religions, cultural backgrounds, were rushing to donate blood. So it really shows that our global community is about coming together and love rather than letting a few extremists who don't represent an entire religion to tear people down.
Among those dead are Americans, according to U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who stands with Sri Lanka to bring these terrorists to justice.
Today our nation grieves with the people of Sri Lanka, and we stand committed, resolved to confront terrorism together.
In Northwest D.C., Janine Samuels for CTV News.
And the bombing victim from our area is a 5th grader at Sidwell Friends Middle School in D.C. Officials say Kiran Shafreet de Souza was studying abroad in Sri Lanka.
Senator Ben Cardin is encouraging all Americans to read the Mueller report and draw their own conclusions. A redacted version of the special counsel's report regarding Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election is now available. The report investigates alleged criminal acts surrounding the 2016 election, as well as efforts to obstruct justice.
Well, I think it's important that Americans reach their own conclusions. We know that certain people put spins on it, whether it's the President of the United States, the Attorney General, or a United States Senator. And I think it's important for people to understand the report. Mr. Mueller details a lot of activities by those around President Trump and President Trump himself. And it's important that the American people understand this as we start our oversight responsibilities in the United States Congress.
You can view the full redacted report by logging on to the Justice Department's website below.
The U.S. Supreme Court will be looking into whether federal laws go far enough to protect gay and transgender employees against discrimination. The court has accepted 3 cases for its next term. At issue is whether the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which bars discrimination on the basis of sex, is broad enough. Some states provide protection for gay and transgender workers, but federal workers are split on whether federal law provides protection. While the Obama administration thought federal law did cover those individuals, the Trump administration disagrees. The High Court's next term begins in October.
One man is dead after a shooting in Kettering on Easter morning. Now police are looking for the suspect. The victim is 22-year-old Marcel Preston. Police say they found Preston outside a home on the 100 block of Kiley Place just after 12 a.m. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to contact police.
And promoting clean water.
Actively working to identify suspects and arrest them for this crime.
And at this point, do you know why the victim was outside?
That's still under investigation. So we just are working to speak with any witnesses that were involved and determine sort of the circumstances that led up to the fatal shooting.
Anyone with information about this incident is asked to contact police.
And promoting clean water, healthy wildlife, and recreational access, those are just three of the ways people across the globe are celebrating Earth Day today. Local, state, and federal lawmakers gathering for the annual event at the Annapolis City Dock this afternoon to talk about various environmental activities.
The Chesapeake Bay Gateways and Water Trails Reauthorization Act. The idea is to get that in place and authorized through the year 2025. A lot of people can see the bay, but getting to the bay is another matter. So you need the Gateways program to create these points of access. There's 170 sites through the Chesapeake Bay watershed that are part of the Gateways and Water Trails program.
We have to figure out ways to control the flooding without bankrupting the city. I'm very pleased to announce that our nuisance flooding project here at City Dock, which will cost several millions of dollars and take a couple of years to complete, will be getting underway soon. We also have a more immediate pumping solution that we hope to implement by summer to help some of the businesses along Dock Street that have water coming to their front door on a regular basis.
Lawmakers also spotlighted the many connections between the health of the bay, the regional economy, and the quality of life for those who live near the watershed.